the side of the creek now. They're just milling around. Turkeys. Turkeys are talking, and our doe is still just moseying. The other couple does work their way back into the timber. This one is coming right at me, staring me down for some reason.
After what felt like an eternity, this doe works her way off, crosses the creek, and moves out of range.
That deer bedded down right there in the middle of the frame. So we're stuck here for a while. Our button buck friend is back. God, a couple does. Maybe a doe and a couple fawns coming in. Or maybe not. Man, these deer are not in a hurry today. They are just browsing. Alright, we got a buck grunt. Got a buck grunt. 80 yards away. Haven't seen him yet, it's really thick. Oh. I hope they caught that. That was a deep grunt. We're kind of been down with these does, 30 yards. He kind of circled the deer that were in the thick, back to the thick, and I got these two coming by. Doe and a fawn.
Eventually, these doe work their way by, go out of range, and the buck never followed on their tail. Unfortunately, we never were able to lay our eyes on that deer, so we have no clue whether he was big or small.
So I was watching all that go down, and I turn around, and there's a dang buck bedded down. No clue when, where. I mean, he obviously came when I was pinned down by those does, so we're gonna stand up, be alert, be ready. We're gonna grunt at him and see what he does. He's not a shooter, but just for entertainment. He really didn't seem to care. Turned his ear a little bit. We got a doe between him and me, bedded down. I don't know. The does are up. And where they at? Their does are up. And the buck is still bedded, but he's looking their way. Just browsing. Halloween. We're finally in November, but it's November 1st, but Halloween. It's the first week of November. But Halloween, I always find, is like the rut really starts to kick up, the chasing. But they just don't seem that into it right now. I mean, they definitely want to chase, but usually I'd expect them just dogging them does. Everybody's looking for that first doe to come into eat. Probably happen here in the next few days, but not very many will then. And a week from, November 7, November 10, really fire up. They get off in that woods a couple hundred yards. I gotta get rid of some coffee. And I gotta hit the horns together. And change a battery in the camera. Just had that nice 2-year-old bed down and finally work off with those does. Had another, never saw it, but had a nice deep grunt to it. Packing some thick stuff, got to about 80, 90 yards. Rutting up, grunting, chasing does. So we're gonna keep sitting, we're gonna hit the horns together and see if we can bring the woods back to life. But it definitely was real slow this morning, but deer were around. I heard some running around and stuff before it got light. But at about 9:30 or so, it really turned on. So what a good hunt. Great start to November.
That was a fantastic hunt. I rattled trying to get that deer that was grunting to come my way, see if we could get some eyes on him. No luck. So we ended up getting down, having some lunch, taking a break, transitioning to the downside of a bedding area for our afternoon hunt.
Alright guys, good afternoon. We just got in. First time we've sat this spot. It's a great spot. I'm going to be really quiet. Not going to do any interviews besides this one. It's about 10 acres of bedding. Really thick, great bedding. And it stands right on the edge of it. And I got my brassica food plot that I failed at, so it's oats and a little bit of brassica here. It's immaculate, it's beautiful. I moved my cell cam off of this and put it on a scrape, about 80 yards from this tree stand. It's gotten some action, but not a ton. Got a great picture of a buck here yesterday at 2 o'clock. But we're gonna see what we see today. Be real quiet, wind's perfect, right in our face. So we're gonna power down and enjoy the hunt. I'm sure we're gonna have at least some doe action, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some bucks cruise through here tonight either. Buck.
Unfortunately, this buck just wasn't quite big enough, but we did get some great footage. This was the only deer we saw. Transitioning to the next time I get out is a morning hunt about 250 yards to the south of here, and it starts out with some great action. This was our target buck. While we got to full draw, he just didn't give us a shot.
Forgot to plug my wireless mic in, so that hasn't been working the whole time. Great. Why can't the big ones do this? The big one comes running through 1,000,000 miles an hour. God, I'm doing a buck out here. She took off. That sucks. They got downwind. Didn't like it. These must stink. It needs some better thermals. Alright, so that's two-year-olds and one shooter. The shooter's still gotta be back in that thick behind us. Got another doe. Come on. Another doe. Don't see anything behind her. about 2 hours after legal light. We've had a freaking awesome morning. Started out about a minute or two after legal. Had our target buck come by. He was trotting pretty good through the main shooting lane I have. And there was just no way to make a shot. I got the full draw, but it wasn't going to happen. Haven't seen him since, but we had 2 smaller nice bucks come through shortly after, working some does. And then some hodgepodge does here and there. And then we had a button buck come through about 20 minutes ago, and we just got rid of him. He just browsed on some woody browse for 15-20 minutes before moving off. We're going to sit here at least probably 2 more hours till 11 o'clock or so. But first, right now, we're going to do some quick rattling. Stand up, do some quick rattling, and then wait about 5 minutes before we sit back down. See if we can get that big one to come out. Got a nice 2-year-old buck coming in. Alright guys, that'll probably do it. Really good hunt. It's a little after 10 o'clock, time change day, so it would be like sitting till 11. I had 2 shooters come through, one right at first light. That was the buck I was after. There's just no way I was going to get a shot off. I got the full draw when he was coming behind me in case he dipped down in the creek. There was a clearing, but really not an opening where he went. Several does, several nice bucks came through. Another shooter, really far away, ran across the field down the fence row. And then about 30 minutes ago, I had a really nice 2-year-old 8-point come through. If he could live a year or 2, he'll probably really be a nice deer. So the trend continues. The little 2-year-olds, nice 2-year-olds, do exactly what you want, and the big ones do not. I guess that's why they're big. So we'll see y'all next time.
Our next hunt was back on the downwind side of a thick bedding area in the morning.
Small buck. did not expect them to be back here.
They got downwind of me, didn't like it, went back to where they came from. The 3 bucks went with her, and that concluded our morning hunt. It also concluded part 1 of our early November whitetail hunts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And in about a week, we're going to be releasing part 2, which is full of more action-packed whitetail action.